Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but of course you can call me Pajama Grandma. In case we haven't met yet, go ahead and put hashtag pajama in the comments below. Then I know it's the first time you are hearing my voice or seeing my face. I'm gonna shimmy up here a little bit. Oh, puppy dogs, woof woof. Sometimes I have weird things in my videos. Today, Supersize Supershort is all about your ideal client. Yes, really, your ideal client. Now, in your business or for your industry, they might be called something different. Maybe you have patients, customers, clients, business partners, whatever you call them, whatever you call the people that you serve with whatever it is that you do, your product or service. Your ideal, I like to call them dream clients, because the older I get, the more I am selective about who I work with. I only work with people nowadays that I want to work with and that I know that I can help. I don't want to help people that don't want my help, and don't want to try to convince anybody that they want my help. I only want to serve people that are looking for what I have to offer and that I can best help serve. Number one, it's a waste of their energy and my energy if I'm serving people that really aren't best suited for what it is I have to offer. It wasn't always that way. I remember when in a lot of businesses that I worked for, they wanted to target and serve everybody. And by serving everybody, they didn't really serve anybody. The same was true in my Italian food business. When I left corporate America and was focusing on building the Italian food business, on supersizing that, I didn't know anything about target markets and about really niching down and picking an audience. That's actually, it's not a new thing, but it's actually a newer thing that companies are deliberately selecting and really choosing who to talk to and who to focus on. And I think part of that is because most of our examples, most of the things we grew up seeing were well, they weren't multinational then, but they were really, really big businesses. Think Coke, think Pepsi, think beer commercials. They were targeting a certain audience, but for the most part, they were trying to get everybody to drink Coke or to drink beer, right? So the commercials and the things we saw growing up weren't really targeted. They weren't specific. They were geared toward everybody. And mass media still tends to be toward the mass markets, and they do target pretty much everybody. They want everybody on the planet to drink Coca-Cola, you know, and there's so many examples of that. I don't need to go into more, but as the world has gotten noisier, as there's been more and more businesses created, it becomes imperative, that means super duper important, for us to pick a specific group of people that we're going to serve and serve them to the best of our ability and talk to them, build relationships with them, communicate with them, so that, for a couple of reasons. Number one, so that they will hear us in all of the noise that exists in the world today. Number two, so that we actually know we can help and get results for people, and we can make the world a better place by serving them, so that we can build a relationship with them and create lifelong customers. Because the world isn't about anymore the single wham bam thank you ma'am one-time customer visiting your business. If that's your business model, you're probably not going to be in business very long. And if you want to supersize your business, you need to have new customers coming all the time, but you also have got to have relationships built with customers, your ideal customers, the people you love to serve and that love you and that are loyal to you no matter what, to, number one, insulate you from the competition. Number two, provide a steady stream of income and an exchange of value so that you can continue to do and improve on what you do for them. And that's how we're going to make the world a better place. That's how we're, as business owners, going to change the world. And it is going to be we business owners, we entrepreneurs that step up and say, this isn't right, we can change this. There's so many injustices in the world right now, and big corporations, government, politicians, none of those entities or groups are going to change it. It's up to us as the beginning small business owners and entrepreneurs to supersize our businesses so we can go about in whatever way makes sense and is right for us with our beliefs and values and goals and objectives to change the world and make it a better place. And that begins by serving our ideal customer to the best of our ability. You might be thinking, I don't know who my ideal customer is. I don't really think about that. And like I said, I didn't at first either. But in order to serve them better and really grow my business, I had to break that down and figure it out. And I ended up having more than one ideal customer, of course, but I began with just one. I picked my favorite customer, and I was in a B2B, a business to business situation. And so I picked my favorite business to business client. And that was actually, it was my favorite business owner for a reason, a lot of reasons, but I was able to use her business as a testing ground for research and development for all the different flavors and different type products that I created. I had an Italian food business, so we made handmade ravioli, and I liked to experiment with different flavors to see what the market would like. And it was my testing ground for those different flavors and varieties and products. It was my R&D without having to have my own retail outlet to test those products in. And that's part of why she was my favorite customer and my favorite client. And she was also my ideal client. And as we were taking on and looking for new customers and new clients to supersize and grow that business, I made sure I looked for people that were like her, business owners that had similar type businesses, similar characteristics, similar values and beliefs about the world and business and how it should work, because I knew I could do a fantastic job serving her business and help her achieve her goals with my products and services being a part of something she offered her end customers. And that is how I determined my first ideal client avatar, or whatever you want to call it. How I decided who my first ideal client was is I looked at my existing clients and I said, who's my favorite client? Who do I like the best? And what is it about her that I like the best? And if I had all of my customers like her, or the vast majority of my customers like her, how much more would I love growing my business and serving my customers? It was amazing, the shift and the difference it made in me and my ability to serve my customers. So think about your ideal customer. Who's your favorite if you've got a bunch of customers already? And if you don't have a favorite, ask yourself, who could be my favorite? Who would be my favorite customer? And I like to ask the journalism questions, who, what, where, when, why, and how, about that person, and get as much detail about them as I can in my mind. What are they like? What, from a physical, emotional, I guess spiritual, depending on your product or service, and all the senses that I can think of to ask myself, what are their problems? How can I help them? Things like that. So that's it. Go out and think about your ideal customer, or your favorite or your best customer today, because you really have to know that person. And from now on, make all of your communications, all of your discussions, everything that you say and do as if you're talking to that favorite ideal person. That's it. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow. Go supersize your business.